beginning, okay, te kore, you had nothing. See that bit up there in the red bit there? Nothing, absolutely nothing. That red bit is also associated with the other red bits that are down here, because in the centre of the earth there's a ball of fire. And also at the same time we had Rangi Nui, we had Papatua Nuku, embraced together with all their tamariki. And the kids had, that was the first hui that's ever been held, was when they decided to separate their mother and father. But there were atua amongst them who did not agree, okay? And you see those forked fingers there? You got those there? And you've got the other one here on the left-hand side. And you've got that funny looking pod that looks like a head, okay? That's tāne mahuta, pushing his mother and father apart. Because I don't know whether you remember the hina tore, hey? When the little spark of light, the atua saw that little spark of light, and that's what they were determined to, separate their mother and father to get out into the world. And you see your patterns on the floor, the kou pattern, you know the kou pattern? When they do the haka, here's your kou. That's the hina tore, where the little glow of light appeared, and that's where those atua wanted to know what was on the other side. Do you know how they tell that story? Okay. So you've got, coming down on that left-hand side, you've got Goanna land, that beautiful stretch, that beautiful shape like that, Goanna land. Everything was beautiful. And there's a strip that has the trees there also. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Goanna land. Right down the bottom, you've got the continents that have been separated. You know the Big Bang Theory? There they are there. Where I'm standing now, you will see some crystals. There's some round ones and there's some teardrops. The 12 apostles and the Father, the Son and the Holy Ghost. Those round ones, koka. And you've got the teardrops. Now you count them, there's 12 of them. Those are the 12 apostles. Come down, okay, coming down, following those little crystals, you can see that we've got that zigzaggy looking bit like that. We're sitting on a fault line, okay? Sitting on the fault line, that's at the bottom, okay? We'll go back to the first arch from Goanna land, where you've got all the flora and fauna of Aotearoa, okay? You've got your Tuatara, you've got the kowhai, and you know when the kowhai is blooming, the kina are ready. Right? You know the kai is ready, so it's time to go dive it. Then you come down, the next bird, you've got the tiwaiwaka, tiwaiwaka. It all depends where you come from, all right? And then you've got our symbol right down the bottom there, is the kiwi, and as the kids would say, koka. Those eyes look like scissors. I mean, it's poking its beak on the top of a mound. That's the Toka Taiau. You heard of Toka Taiau? All right. The Toka Taiau used to be a rock. You know where the porters, they needed to make way for those big ships to get in? That's where that rock was. So these people blew it out of the water. Yeah. So it's not there anymore, but that rock symbolises where Captain Cook first met Māori. See, you've got the symbol of the flag on one side, and you've got the mataora on the other side of Māori. See how you've got those three whales there? And down the bottom is a stingray. So you've got the stingray there and you've got the flounders over there. Where they blew that rock out, that's where you find all that kai. You find all, and you know you got the flounder all out there and all around the bay there. And where that fire is, see how you've got those three wells? Those three wells represent three baskets of knowledge. Te kete aronui, te kete tuatea, te kete aronui, okay? And riding on one of those whales is the eponymous ancestor from this area, Ruapani. You know, the facial person. Now above that circle, you've got the arrival of the Maori, okay? Coming on their waka. And you notice this, as I say to kids, you never see women on there. It's all men. So there was a long way for them to come to Aotearoa. And to the left of that, we have the pautama, the steps. Can you see that? And you know this kowhai down here, those paths they got like that. You've got them out there. And I used to say to the kids, those represent you going, you're seeking knowledge, and that's the same thing. They were searching for something coming out of that light. So there you go, you're coming into the library, gonna get clever. You know, you need all this information. Our famous ancestor that created our habits and our, you know, the way we, all our traits, you know, all the traits that we have. Maui had the whole lot. And that's his waka there down the bottom. And those are his brothers. Yeah, he was a naughty fellow, that Maui. You know, and the traits continue today. Yeah, you know, those kete and Maui and the gods, it's helped what's shaped us all today. Okay, so Captain Cook's arrived and all our settlers are starting, all our visitors are arriving in New Zealand. It was lovely and green. All of a sudden we've got this big huge fire. Those are the flames that they burnt all our native flora and fauna to grow pine. See the green? Pine. Then they introduced stock, cattle and sheep, those different colours, you know, the red and the yellow just on the right hand side. You've got the pine, and then you've got the introduction of your animals. Below that yellow, the yellow rainbow, you've got all those things that go like this, like a fence. That was the introduction of ropes. And now, at the beginning of this rainbow, you've got the introduction of Christianity. Your three baskets, which I thought were three baskets of knowledge, are not. Those are your three runanga. Yeah, the three runanga. You've got Atiporo runanga, te runanga o Turanga Nui a Kiwa, and I think the other one is the fauna o Apanu. Those are the three runanga, those baskets there. But you see where that hand is, Gil? See where the hand is? And you see all that writing and that brown bit down there? Those are all the signatures of all the people that signed here in Gisborne, the Treaty of Waitangi. And again, see all those nice red and blue, and those that represents the fishing industry. Yeah. And there's your fish going up to that rainbow. Our surfer down the bottom there represents the tourism of from this area. Now we're on a plane, all right? Way up in the sky, we're on a plane, and we're looking down onto Gisborne. See all those different squares, those different angles, triangles. We're looking down. The reds represent the main streets of Gisborne, those red lines, those four ones, and those light blue semicircle things, they represent the rivers. Yes, leading over to the freezing works. Can you see the freezing works, that red building? Yeah, and that's the railway track that goes from the main street over there. Right. Now I want you to focus your camera. There's a little yellow dot. Okay, you're standing in it. You're standing in the library. That's the representation of that little yellow dot. Yeah. Yeah. How many people know that? Yeah. But that's what, you know, that's what everything looks like. That's a bird's eye view of Gisborne with all those paddocks. You know, you've got your sheep and your cattle, and you've got your forestry. You also got your whatever market gardening they've got down. Yeah. Neat, eh? And you've got the ocean there. Okay, right. All those people, that's us. Okay, we are evolving. And we are actually going around and around and around. Now, see in the centre there, you'll see the blue. There's a blue piece there. You've got Australia, you've got New Zealand, okay? Can you see all that? Have a good hard look at that blue bit and you tell me what you think it might be. Because I'm going to tell you, I'm going to show it to you. Right, Zan, come here. Zan, come sit over here, but sit facing me. Tangohau tō pōtai. Put your knees up, put your knees up, put your head down, and put your arms up here. Can you see that? Look at Zan. Now look at that blue figure in the centre. See, the knees are in front of Australia. You've got the head on the right, above Australia and above New Zealand, where that long curl comes. See? Imagine, it's a fetus. Can you see it? But yeah, no, life goes on, and see the cycle of life? Yeah, like us today.